Hey there, folks. Welcome to day 224 of my year of solo board gaming, considered by many to be ill advised and stupid. And as mentioned a couple days ago, this is the game that I was looking forward to. I've seen it played online a few times. It looks really just right up my alley as a roll and write. And it comes with basically four maps, and we're going to play all of them. We're going to do all four maps over the course of the next 4 days. In this roll and write, you are basically taking five dice and you're rolling them, and you basically then have to take. We'll get a little sample roll here. You take the white dice and you can pair them however you want. So, for example, if I have this, I could do 5, 2, 3, 1. I could do 5, 3, 2, 1, or 5, 1, 3, 2. There's a black dice here, and in the regular game, there's both active and passive players. When you're playing on your own, you're always a passive player. Now you can use the black dice in combination, so you get some different pairs. For example, I could throw this 3 in here to make a 6. For example, I could pair it with, and really that's the only reason I would use it. And if you do that, you then cross it off down here. The goal of the game is to cross off these boxes, and you have the green starting boxes to work with as you begin. And you cross off whatever numbers you equal. So, for example, if I have 5, 1, and 3, 2, I have a 6 and a 5. I can cross off the 5 over here, and I can cross off the 6 over here. As you're going through, as long as you can follow a path from the green area to the box that you want to cross off, you can cross it off. So, for example, this 4, I can't do anything with right away, but if the 9 were crossed off, then I could cross off the 4. There are various monsters scattered throughout the map, including the big boss monster, which is the beefy Bearpian, half bear, half scorpion. These monsters are weak. You can attack them if you have certain numbers available. So if you have accessed this box, so for example, I've crossed off the 7 here, so I can actually reach in and start attacking the monster. Or I cross off the 5 here, I can start attacking the monster. As long as I roll a blackened number, I can then attack it for basically 1 damage. In addition, there are some outline numbers. So, for example, this is 3 and 4, this is 5 and 10. This one has 5 of them scattered throughout the grid, and this one has none. So I could just go in and start attacking it right away. But you'll notice that there are some shaded squares next to these monster boxes, and what these mean is if you cross off the 4 here, you'll shade in the 4 here, and that will allow you to use 4s to attack the monster. There are some extra bonus squares here. For example, this 10, 12, 4, 6, 8. There's a 2 over here, and I think there's one other that I'm missing. But essentially, if you cross off that square, if you manage to get a 4 here, you'll cross off one of these down here, plus you'll get to do damage to a monster somewhere on the map. If you get 5 of these boxes, you can then collect 3 gems. If you defeat a monster, you can collect a number of gems. If you defeat the boss, you'll collect gems plus lose 2 life, so you kind of want to leave that for last. If you connect the 2 sets of green squares, if you can follow a path from this side all the way over to this side, you can then get another 3 gems. There are certain squares that have gems. So, for example, this 12 over here. If you cross those off, you'll get some gems. And if you want these squares that have little doubles in them, you'll have to roll doubles to cross them off. The ones with the fists pretty much all have doubles in them. So, for example, this 10 here, I have to roll 2 5s to be able to cross this off. But I do then get to hit a monster anywhere. Now, if you roll and you do not hit a monster at any point during your turn, you will lose a life. If you cannot use one of the pairs, you will lose a life. If you cannot use both pairs, you will lose 2 lives. If you hit a monster but can't use the other pair, you don't lose anything. You're good. You're fine. You won't get any penalty for not using that other pair. But you will lose life pretty much quite quickly, in fact, as you go through the game. There are certain squares that have treasures in them. There's this 3 and 11 over here. If you get either of these, you can choose one of these 3 treasures. This treasure allows you to get 3 additional lives, plus you'll get a gem. This one down here gives you 3 black squares, or black dice rolls, extra dice abilities, and I probably, should be more familiar with how the game works before I do these little videos. The torches here basically give you 2 extra opportunities to cross off squares that are adjacent to previously crossed off squares. So for example, if I've already marked off this 10 and I have these 2 torches here, I can then mark off the 5, and then that way I'll have 5 available to hit here. You can use them to damage monsters as well, which might make for a good pinch, like, oh, I need to cross off a monster. So it basically take your pick as to which one is going to be more useful than the others. But let's go ahead and get started here. At the end of the game, you will add up the number of gems that you have, multiply them by 3, and that will give you your total. When you're playing multiplayer, you take the number of points you lose for life, subtract that from your score. You do not do that in the solo game. So you will eventually get down to the skull. That'll be the end of your game, but you will not lose any points here. So I'm just going to write a big fat 0 here ahead of time so we know to not do that later. Let's go ahead and get rolling here. All right. Let's make sure that that can all be seen on screen. I think it can. I'm going to take a quick moment here, make sure that the video here is not going to keep autofocusing. I don't think it has, but I'd rather not take that chance. There we go. Okay. So what do we have to start off with? We've got a 2, 2, 3, and 4 to start with, and we have 3 as the black dice. And what I found in trying to play through this game is that it's really tempting to use that black dice early. You do not want to do that. You want to try to hold off as long as you can before you start going willy-nilly on the usage of that. Looking here, it really is just kind of a garbage set of dice. It doesn't really allow me a whole lot of flexibility. Essentially what I can do is I can either do a 5 and 6 or a 4 and 7. And I don't really like the 4 and 7 because I feel like both of those put me kind of far away from what I want to do. I'm going to go with 5 and 6. And then, because we did not damage a monster, we already lose 1 life. We're already in the hole. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 4, 4, plus we've got a 3, 3 here. So looking at what we have, I could go for this 3. That would help me get down to this 6. I could also unlock this. This is a double die, and basically that allows me to access a little bit further this way and this way. If I look at it, it's 5 and 6, which I've already crossed off, and I don't have any other places where I can cross those off, or 8 and 3. And so pretty much I think I'm going to go for 8 and 3. I could use the black dice to help give me some better options, but I don't really feel like they're going to be... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 3 here, but I'm also going to do the 4, 4 here. I feel like this 8 isn't going to give me much extra, because it's not like I can't cross off either of these 2, and I already have a way to get to the 9. So I'm going to cross that off. That way I can get to the 7 here, and this gives me a way down this way. So unfortunately, that's another life already lost. All right, this is lovely. 1, 2, 6, 6, plus a 5 extra. So my options are either 7, 8, or 3, 12. And the funny thing is 12 is such a great thing to have available later in the game. I think I'm at one of the few points where it's not that great. I could go 6 here. I could go 7 here. Can I then use the 8 anywhere? And I don't think I can. I think the only places I can use it is over there, which I've already decided I didn't really want to use. I might actually want to go ahead and use one of my black dice now. And I think I'm going to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5, 1, and 2, 6. It's killing me that I have a 12 available to me. Oops, not that one. This one. So I'm going to cross the 6 off here. That means I can now attack with a 6, but also because I have an 8, I can attack with an 8 and I won't lose a life this turn. So that is a huge plus right there. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a 5 is extra. So what I could do is I could do 7, 3 up here. That would finally give me some options for getting this monster as well. And I think that's what I'm going to do. It means I'm going to take one more hit, which really sucks. The other way I could do it is I've got 5-5 here, which I don't think really gives me much of anything. I could do 4-6, which again I don't think really gives me much of anything. I don't think I really want to do the. I'm gonna go 7-3. It's and get this shaded in. That means one more damage, one more life lost. But now I can attack this creature with either 3 or 11. I can attack this creature with 6 or 8. I start to have more choices as the game progresses. And really, all right, so this is going to be interesting. This is 10 and 8. It's killing me I can't get up here for this one. Or 9-9. I can go 9-9. I think I'm actually going to go 9-9. I know this seems radical, but I'm going to hit the 9 here. That allows me to actually use 9s on this, and I will use a 9 on this. So now I have 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 11, and I can hit any of those. And I think part of this game is making sure that you have monsters you can hit. Because you'll notice I haven't lost, I now did not lose a life on that, and I will continue to try to not lose lives. All right, so we got 2, 2. 1 and 6. So we'll use the 7. How is the 7 the one thing I can't hit with? That blows. I'm going to go ahead and use a second black dice, which is ridiculously early in this game to use. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to use the 2, 2 to do the. Oh wait, no, I don't need to do that. I don't need. I'm going to make a little hole here. So I forgot one important thing. Because I'm now able to use this 2, 2 here, because I can go this way, I get to do one hit anywhere, and I'm going to hit this bunny rabbit over here. I know this seems like an odd place to go, but I find this bunny difficult to get to. And now I can do a 7 anywhere I want. So I can do 6-1. I could use that dice to go 4 or 9. Part of me is thinking that maybe it might not be a bad idea to go ahead and use it anyway. I think I'm just going to stick with the 7. Yeah, I'm going to stick with the 7. I'm going to go up here. One thing that I'll probably do is get some way to protect the sheet so that I can just laminate it and use that one copy over and over again. All right, so 1, 2, 4, and 5. That means we either have 6 and 6, we have 3 and 9, or 7 and 5. So we got some pretty good options here. Looking at this, I think 3 would allow me to just basically take that out up there. I don't see a place where I can then use the 9 though, and that's kind of frustrating. I would love to be able to like continue on through some of these other paths, but I don't think I have that option right now. If I do 6, 6, I could start to get this creature out. This creature is probably going to be the first one to go, simply because I need to get through here to get access to some of these other things. I'm just not a big fan of doing multiple hits like that. So, but I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 6, 6 here. I'm going to hit it twice against better judgment. All right, we've got a 1, 1 and a 3, 4. Again, with the I would rather use that 1, 1 elsewhere. I'm just looking around here. So I can do 4, 5. I can do 2, 7. 5 at least would allow me here. But then 4 doesn't really get me anything. If I do 2, the reason I'm thinking of doing the 2 is hitting down here and then maybe using one of these to get me a different value for the other 2 dice. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I am going to go ahead and finally use that black dice that I threatened to use earlier. I'm going to go ahead and grab this 2. That gives me my first gem of the game. And I'm going to use the 2 and the 4 together to make this 6. That's going to give me this 6 here. And now I can make my way through here and start to get down to this other wolf. That is going to give me 2 gems, though. All right. We still have a couple other places where we can hit. But now at least we have some options for moving outward. All right. 4, 4, 3, 2. 4, 4, 3, 2 means I can do 6, 7. I could do 8, 5. 5 here would be good. I don't have a place for the 8 anymore, unfortunately. If I did 6, 7, I don't have a place for the 6, 7 either. So you can see already by losing this one monster here, I suddenly have no way to attack anybody. And I really don't want to use my last dice already, because it's going to be a little bit to get before I get to get to that treasure. I do have this equal one over here, which allows me to get past any of these equal signs, but no real way to get any further than that. I think it's really not what I want to do, but at least this moves me a little bit forward. I'm going to take the 5 here, and I'm going to take the 8 out here. I'm going to take one more life, which blows. One, 2, 3, and 5. That means I can take a 3 on here, and I probably will. That seems like a good way to go. That'll leave me an 8 to use somewhere, which I really don't have. I could do 5, 6, and hit the 5 here. There's no place where I can really do a 6. I could do 7, but then that would mean I'd need a 4 somewhere. I'd have to take that 4, which would then result in some damage. 6, 5, that doesn't really do anything. I am going to go ahead and be aggressive on this, though. I'm going to take the 7 and the 4, and we're going to go ahead and lose another life, because I do want to keep opening up more and more down here. All right, so we got a bunch of stuff here. We got 2, 4, 3, and 6 with a 4 in the background. And looking at what I've got, I can either do 5 or 10. 5 up there. 10 down here would be helpful, I think. 10 down here would be helpful. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 here and 10 here. This way, at least now I don't lose a life on this turn, which is helpful. All right, 5, 4, 5, 9 with a 6 in the background. So I can do 11 and 9. And I think the obvious choice here is to go 9 here, so we can open up these 2 paths. And I could take this treasure, but I'd like to prevent a death, another life being lost, so I'm going to hit that up there. That was very artistic of you, thank you. 4, 4, 4, 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross this off, that's my 4, 4. And I'm going to cross 1 off here, and that's my 9. Didn't even really have to think about that one that much. Oh my lord, this is just garbage. So I have 3, 3 or 2, 4. And what's insane is this would be really great if I were closer to getting one of the ones that require a 2. As it stands now, I don't really feel like this is that useful. What I think I'm going to have to do is go down this way, cross that off, and that off. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm doing the 2s to cross that, and then the 1s to get that. That does give me a gem, but I do lose another life. But now if I get 2 3s, I can go for random damage elsewhere, which is nice. Okay, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So 2, 3 would allow me a 5 there. I don't have the 10 to use anywhere else, unfortunately. I could go 10, 5, and then finally have access to the bear down here. If I did 7, 8, or 9, 6, 9 would allow me to finish this right here. 6 would allow me this as entry into this. That's what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do the 9 here, which means this is now complete, and I get 2 more gems. 6 is here, so now I can start attacking this white wolf. I don't have any of the additional numbers, though. So I need to get a 5 and an 8 to basically start unlocking more there. Right now our attack numbers are 3, 4, and 11. All right, so we got 5 and 4. we're going to take full advantage of that. We're going to use the 4 to attack there, but then also the 5 here, and that gives us an additional attack option here. So now we have 3, 4, 5, and 11 that we can attack with. 5, 5, 4, and 1, so that's either 6 and 9 or 5 and 10. I'm going to go 5 and 10. I'm going to go 5 here and 10 here. That way we're almost to the point where we can start taking on the boss. Even though we only have 4 life left, we're not looking good in that respect. Ideally, I'll be able to get a 6 somewhere along the lines. So this will either be 8, 10, or 9, 9. Let's see. I can do 8 here. But overall, this is not looking good. I could do 7 and doubles, which is interesting enough. I could also do 8 and 7 here if I used my last black dice. What that'll do is it'll allow me to then attack with a 2 and a 12. Are there any other places where this would be? Like I've got the 9 here. Oh, this is just looking awful. Worst comes to worst, I can do 8, maybe 8 and 10 here. Yeah, I mean, I lose 1 more life, but at least it gives me some options to work with. All right, now we got a whole bunch of neat stuff. So we've got 8, and 8 is now an option for attacking here, but also I've got 12 for the other one, which would be great if I could access that. I can access this one down here, so that's good. I could also go 8 and 11. The 8 and 11 would allow me to uncheck this and start to work my way down this way. Or 11, I can cross that off and get some additional life. And I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for my... I think I need the life more than I need anything else. And unlocking that one means that you do get an extra gem. And then 8, I'm going to attack down here. So we don't lose a life, but now we got 3 extra ones. All right, we have 7 and 9, or some other combination. 7 and 9 would be good because I could finally access this down here, but I don't think that's a great idea. 10 and 6, also not great. Neither of those really help me that much. I could use the 4, 4. I could use my last of the black dice to do 4, 4. Because I think that's the only combination I wouldn't be able to get, which would allow me 8, and that would be the attack. And then maybe do the 7 here so I can start to get down this way. I don't think there's anything else that I would be able to do. It is amazing how restrictive this game can feel when you don't have certain options available to you. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 7. I'm going to do 9. I'm not going to use the other black dice quite yet. That does mean I lose a life. That'll come out of up here. I know, crazy, 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 crazy. All right, 6, 1, 1, 5. So we've got a 2, which I think will go here. And I've got an 11, which will go up here. That'll give me that particular... Just want to make sure the camera's still straight. Yeah, so I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to do the 2 here just so we can get the gem. We'll do the 11 up here. Okay, 2, 4, 5, and 5 with a 2 extra. Let's see. So I can do 10 and 6, which is probably the least helpful combination. I can go with 9 and 7. Probably a little bit more helpful. 9 and 7 would basically allow me to close this up a little bit more. If I do that though, I lose yet another life, which I really don't want to do. I can incorporate the 2 again. It would be my last of the black dice that I have for now. I feel like I have to get this 11 at some point. I feel like I've just been sleeping on that 11, and that's part of my problems. If I did 9 and 7, cross those off. Again, it'd be 1 more life, but it would leave me some options, I think, for the next turn. Yeah, let's go with it. A lot of it is just thinking, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to cross something off somewhere. Does it really matter where? 1, 2, 3, and 5. So 1 and 3 I could use to cross off the 4 here. I could also cross a 3 up off there. 8 here. If I did 3 and 8, which is a possibility, that would give me 1 step closer to actually closing the entire gap here, which would be incredibly useful. I could go 3 here, which would be nice, because then I could then try to get into this. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 3, which allows me to finally start attacking the bear, and 8 here. All right, 4, 4, 5, and 6. So I can take 1 more life damage and just hit this. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 11 here, so I don't lose any life, and then I'll do the other 2 as a pair of dice to knock that out, and at least I'm a little bit closer to getting this completed. Again, you're sort of like holding off. You're trying to manage your damage so that you can get as many lives as possible. 1, 2, 3, and 6. So I can do 3 here, and I know I could do 3 up here, but I want the 3 here so that I don't necessarily run out of resources to do things. Because I've done that, I don't have to worry about using up that last. If I can't find a 9 to use somewhere, I don't have to worry about it. But that kind of sucks. I should have probably thought about that. Because yeah, I can't find a 9 to cross off anywhere. If you're seeing it, I apologize. Fortunately though, since I've damaged the boss this round, I don't have to worry about that, so that's a bummer. And I don't want to use the black dice for this. 1, 2, 4, and 5. Same exact thing. Where it's going to be a 3 and a 9 in one configuration. It could also be a 6 and a 6, and it could also be a 7 and a 5. 5 would complete this. 5 could also go here. If I did 5 here, though, I have no place for the 7, and since I didn't do any damage, I'd be kind of screwed. But if I did 5 here, I could potentially then use the black dice to close this one out. Is that really a good idea? Or do I just go ahead and do another 3 here and just say, you know what, we're going to do the same thing that we did last time. It's got a lot of damage, and so we may as well just go ahead and take advantage of that. So yet another damage on the boss. All right, we got 1, 3, 4, and 6. So that's either going to give me 5 and 9 again, which is crazy that that's come up so many times, or we're going to get 10 and 4. The 4 could finish out this. I don't think I have any place for the 10, though. I can't do the 10 up there because it's not the right combination. And I really don't want to... I feel like if I have an option to cross off a monster to do damage, I don't want to use the black dice. I feel like I just want to keep that going forward. I could cross off the 10 up there just to be completist. So we'll go ahead and do this. We'll do 4 down here. We have completed the White Wolf. That's going to give us 2 more gems, and we'll do this as well. Just because. All right, 1, 1, 2, and 6. So we're going to be able to damage this monster. and then an 8 somewhere. We'll do that one. I'd really like to hit the center monster more. Like, I'd like to get a 5 and a 5, or a 5 and a 3, or something along those lines. Start getting into this center a little bit more. So 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, there. I mean, there's my 5. Unfortunately, I don't have a 9 anywhere to put it. And if I did that, I would need the 2 10s to work with. I could go 8 and 6. That is not a combination that really seems to help me that much. I could do 6 here. I couldn't then do 8 elsewhere, so I'd actually lose 2 lives in the process. So as much as that would be nice, being able to close that, it's not a good idea. If I did 6 and then the double 5, that's also not going to help. This is starting to get painful. Yeah, one thing that you start to run into is, I think in both of the games I've played, I hesitated to open up this area down here, and it's both times I feel like it's come to bite me in the butt. I think both times it's difficult to get down here because really you have to go through this 11. You just have to get through this 11. So the first time you get an 11, you may just want to just say, you know what? I don't care if I need that 11 somewhere else. I'm gonna go for that 11 because otherwise you are not going to get through this at any time soon. You either have to get through the boss bear or the primal hair, neither of which are going to be easy. So is there a way that I can do this? I've sort of just been stalling here. I can do 4, 6. I can do 6, 9 and 5, or 8 and 6. When I crossed out the 10 up here earlier, that was a mistake, by the way. I really should not have done it that way. And the reason is that because I was already guaranteed that I wouldn't take any damage that round. So instead, I should have just said, you know what, we'll save that for later. And worst comes to worst, we'll go ahead and then, you know, we've got that. 5 and 9, 6 or 9, 6 or 9, 5 or 8. Or 7 and 7. And then there is no 7 and 7 anywhere. Alright, I think I just have to get off the pot. I didn't say the whole phrase, fortunately. I think I'm going to go here just because this is going to allow me some more attacks. And even if I used a black dice, I don't think I could use the double anywhere to help me out. Which is a shame because I've got this double 10 up here. If I had just completed this, I'd be able to use it. But that means that I'm going to lose a life for the unused, and I didn't do any damage this round. So that's 2. And now I'm down to 2 lives left. And I've done 2 damage on the big bear in the center. This is the novice board, by the way. All right, so 5, 2 and 3. I will go ahead and hit the center for that. And for the other 12, I could hit this bear down here. Instead, I'm going to hit this gem here just to get this gem out of the way. Because I can't hit this one here because I don't have the 11, unfortunately. All right, 3 would allow me to hit here, and then I don't have to worry about anything else. Is there a different thing that I should do, however? Could do 3 here just to get this out of the way, and then I would have that 10 available to me. I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go ahead and get the gems now before I die. And then we're not going to worry about the other one. 6, 5, and 2. This is bad. All right, so for 12, I could hit here, and I wouldn't have to worry about the 7 anywhere. I don't really like it. I really do want to hit down here, and I can hit down there now with this 11, 12, or 11, but then I would need a place to use the 8. Or figure out some way to use the 4 in combination. Because I can't use it to hit this 10. That has to be a double. If I did go 11 here and 6 here, that would use up one more life and my last black square, but would net me 2 dice. And I think would open up at least a little bit more. I could then potentially get this, and that would allow me some leeway. I hate doing it this way. I'm going to go ahead and do it this way, though. And then that's done, and that's done. And then that's going to give me 3 more gems for connecting the 2 sides. I know what you're saying. That was a stupid move. Because really, it's right now I've got 2, 3, 5, and 12 as options for hitting. That's it. If I get a 10, a double 5, maybe I can do something. Oh, that's just insulting. That's just wrong. Oh, I think the game's over now. That just hurts. Oh my god. What a lousy roll. What an unbelievably lousy roll. There is nothing I can do with that. There are no options. All right, and that is unfortunately the game. Okay, so that's it. So the way that we score this up, we're going to get count up all our gems. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15. Each row, each of these is a row of 15. That might help in the future. With 16, that's going to be 48. So total of 48 points, which is actually not that bad. According to this little score sheet in the back here, 48 is not bad. Maybe next time you meet the boss monster, hit harder. And that's it. Please join me again tomorrow where we're going to be doing the other side of this page. Woohoo! See you then.